What role has reflection played in shaping your personal growth?
You know, there's that line about a self-reflected life is not worth living. I take some of that to heart. When I have a challenge, I try to think about what role I've played in creating it. Do you know what the fundamental attribution error is?
Tell me more about that.
Sure. It's a psychological phenomenon, right, that many people experience. And the notion is that when something good happens, it's because I'm great. Right, and when something bad happens, it's because the world is against me, right? Or it's your fault, basically, right? So you blame good things on so you take credit for good things, but for negative things you attribute to the rest of the world. And that's one where when I think about something, I really try to separate that out, right? I really try not to take too much credit for the good, nor try to put so much of the bad, some negative factors on the external world, right? I try to kind of have a much more balanced, because I know about this bias, I try to think about how to have a really honest assessment about what my role in whatever the challenge was. And I found that helpful. And it's actually my talking point for the year has been to tell people about this, because I've been in a situation in business where it happened with a vendor where they were blaming something on us, right? That was like their product failure. They're like, well, you're not using the product right. Like, look, guys, it's your product, right? Like, why would you not take ownership of your product? Right. And like blaming your customer is not a good way to go. Right? But so I'd say that's kind of the how I think about reflection. I guess it's an empirical question if I do it enough or not. Certainly, it seems to be okay. But I think that you have to, especially as you get more senior, you really have to think carefully about what your role in things are, and to make sure that you're having the appropriate amount of influence. How you're doing that influencing. Where you use more direct power, right? I used to be accused of being a bit, my elbows were too sharp. My elbows are probably always going to be too sharp for the level I'm at, but I think that my use of the elbows is much more surgical, right? I'm not like whacking them around. I'm more just going,
Right.
And it was funny that I have a staff member who works for me, and do you know this notion in a like World of Warcraft, in a massively multiplayer role-playing game, you have roles, right? And one of the roles that people have is they're called tanks. And a tank is basically like a character that is designed to take abuse, right? So that while everyone else is running around stealing the Vorpal sword, the enemy is beating on the tank, right? He is that guy. People just beat on him, and he just takes it and takes it and takes it. And he has much higher emotional intelligence than I have, right? His EQ is much higher, I think, because he takes this stuff and he takes it with a lot of equanimity, right? He's just like really cool about it. And somebody was taking advantage of him, and I said, "Dude, they're taking advantage of you." And he's like, "I know. What should I do?" I said, "You got to throw the elbow, man." Like, so there are times when like being the calm voice, right, the tank, is not always the right thing, right? Sometimes you got to go a little bit on the offensive. So I've tried to kind of take actually from him the be cool, right? Yeah. And I've tried to be a little more tankish, but and much more surgical about my use of my elbows.